Now, sometimes I get so excited I have to stop writing poetry, and I put a section of prose in the middle of the poem. And this is what happened here. And this is called The Ungarbled Story That Unfolded Before Us. Well, the incident I want to tell you about came to pass in a college small enough to put in your pocket. In the northern sticks of California it was, where a middle-aged white professor got up on the auditorium stage to introduce a black psychiatrist to what was left of a student body scattered in the seats on a rainy afternoon. The two principal characters had beards, but no two beards could have been more different, one from the other. The black man's was a handsome addition to his face. The professor's was thin and ailing, but still he had managed to train her to do his bidding. Whenever he turned his shrunken head, the point of his beard jerked accusingly in still another direction, indicating with severity that education lay, if you were only able to see it, in that dusty corner, right over there. Dr. Parnassus is not just a psychiatrist who is black, the professor began this memorable introduction. He is a black psychiatrist. I hope you can all grasp that distinction. For some reason, nobody in the audience said, "Right on, brother," as he stood looking out over the auditorium, his beard pointing this way and then that. The black psychiatrist himself had instantly become expendable as he sat on the stage fingering his yellow silky tie. "There are not many around," continued the professor, and this was certainly the truest thing that had been said that afternoon, for the psychiatrist was the only black face within a mile or two. And then the professor turned to the exciting subject of himself. For a number of years, he said, he had been interested in the problems of minority groups, and in particular in the black man in the black ghetto. "I say, that's awfully good of you, old crutch," said somebody out of the top drawer of my English mementos. And now the professor charmed everyone there with the avowal that he was about to lay the foundation for, or to initiate, or else to inaugurate, a course at this up-and-coming institution for the study of a black studies program. And his beard waved sparsely in the direction of the psychiatrist. I hope to have many eminent black scholars come to talk here on the subject of a study for the development of what may eventually become, we hope, he said. Those who have been closely involved in educational procedures, the professor proceeded, excluding the audience from that happy experience, have established beyond question that there is no possibility of successfully inaugurating or initiating, if you prefer, or indeed laying the foundations for any course unless that inauguration or initiation has been preceded by a long-term study in depth of what it may be advisable to undertake at some future time. There was a perceptible movement of restlessness among the seated, including the psychiatrist, and the professor's beard jerked toward the door marked exit, but no one rose to go. It could have been that no one in the history of the college had ever got up and walked out in distaste for what was being said. The students in this place wore marvelously clean tan Levi's and navy blue windbreakers. The young men's hair was splendidly trimmed, and the girls' hair was anything but long and untamed. They all had regular shoes on their feet. It was another era entirely, and the things the professor was saying kept carrying us even farther back on the assembly line of his eager self-esteem. "This is somewhat of a pilot course I am initiating," were his words. I might say it took a good deal of personal ingenuity to get it started, for it has a touch of revolutionary daring about it. Oh, how dreary, dreary can the purveyors of education be if you let them get out of hand for even 2 minutes. And this is what had taken place. That's what rock and roll is for. I knew it was sweet exhilaration then. It's the only thing loud enough to drown out the voices of the cautious of our day. A pre-study of a black studies program could scarcely be considered anarchistic in concept, the professor hastened to add, his beard ready to do battle for him, if it came to that. Wisdom and reason are not the most popular words in our current vocabulary, but I still find them useful. This semester will be devoted to studying with patience and with wisdom what reasonable procedure we can develop, which will lead There are times when there is nothing left to do but take a decision, and now that moment had come. It would have been taken even had the psychiatrist, after glancing at his wristwatch, not risen to the occasion and made one step in the direction of the lectern. The professor turned his head in irritation, and the words died in his mouth. His beard pointed directly to the chair the psychiatrist had vacated, but the black man had no intention of sitting down again. He tapped the crystal of his watch with his long forefinger. I have a plane to catch in about 3/4 of an hour. I have to get back to Watts, he said. And so he was allowed to laugh out loud. Well, I'll end on that because I want to read something more recent.